Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another match reaction. Athletic Club versus Barcelona. 0-0 draw. Unfortunately, Barcelona did not get the job done. We were not able to secure the victory in what would have been a very, very important 3 points. In a weekend where Real Madrid dropped points and Girona as well, it would have been the perfect opportunity to go out there in a difficult stadium, you get the 3 points against a tough opponent at the club, and get a huge morale booster, and basically head basically face these next couple of games with enthusiasm and with energy. But unfortunately, two injuries, which are going to be the main focus of today's video at the start, of the first half, they just absolutely just ended any chances and hopes we had. And those two players are Frankie de Jong and Pedri and Frankie de Jong. Both of them, they got injured, and they're gonna be out for, I don't know, a significantly long time. And what's most likely going to happen is that people are already saying, it's both injuries are serious, and I don't know if they're going to be serious, because we are going to have to wait until, for example, the full diagnosis tomorrow, when these players get back into Barcelona, the medical staff, they talk about them. But Frankie de Jong, he rolled his ankle. He was in the air. I believe it was Unai Garcia. He touched him in the air. It was completely accidental. And Frankie de Jong, he rolls over his ankle, so sprained ankle. And Pedri, he gets a quadriceps relapse at the start of the season. Pedri, he did injured his quadriceps, and today it was a relapse. And as this comment says, two huge points dropped. It was a huge opportunity missed. But glad it's over. Barcelona may have lost the game, but they lost so much more. Season ender. Yeah, may end. Absolutely. Because we're going to be missing Pedri, Frankie de Jong for maybe the rest of the season. And Barcelona, they have huge games, ahead to play. I'm sorry to worry for Pedri. It's what's the pineapple? It is worrying. It is worrying because this is a youngster who is 21 years of age, and he's picking up injuries like it's nothing, and it's very worrying because Pedri, he is one of the most talented youngsters in the world right now, and a player of his quality, we need him to be playing a majority of the games for Barcelona, but he's missing almost half of it, and that's not good for his career, his development, and it's so sad to see. This game was a turning point, but oh well, like I said, season's over, no chance climbing back, get top two, and like I said, 1,000 times we go fresh and new next season. I honestly think I think today is just like the last time we can ever have a discussion about the La Liga title race, just because, like, for example, even if Barcelona were to actually be serious and challenge for the La Liga title, today would have been an absolutely huge opportunity to do so. Have the mentality of champions. Just no matter the circumstances, just get it done. Rafinha, do some magic. Lamine Yamal, do something. Lewandowski, do something. Gundogan, do something. Joao Felix, do something. Any player, any player on the pitch, could have had a moment of brilliance and just get the job done. Joao Cancelo, you could say that his shot, if that went in, it could have changed things, but it didn't go in. And but let's first look at the lineup, and let's see what Xavi decided to do. So you had Ter Stegen in goal, Cancelo at left back, Ronald Araujo partnering Pau Cubarsí. You had Kunde playing as the right back. In the midfield, you had Gundogan, Christian de Jong, and up top you had Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Pedri. Now, I did talk about this in the watch along, but Pau Cubarsí and Rafinha were two players who started this match. Rafinha, opting to rest Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal has been playing a lot of minutes. It's a very good decision to rest him. And in regards to Pau Cubarsí, I think Xavi just played some enormous face in Pau Cubarsí, and he didn't have a bad game. There were some instances where he gave some poor passes, where he made some questionable decisions. But overall, I thought Pau Cubarsí was, once again, for a 17-year-old, the composure that he showed was just absolutely outstanding. And you know, just looking at just like those two injuries, guys, I cannot reiterate like how important they are. Frankie De Jong at that base of the midfield, partnering Christensen, he is your outlet for the distribution of play. He is um that anchor alongside Christensen. And Pedri, he's the controller, the tempo maker. He's the one who creates the chances. And two players going out, it just killed Barcelona. Barcelona report, yeah, yeah. You saw it then, the lack of chances that our attack was getting when two players such as Pedri and Frankie Young, they go off injured. We didn't have anyone to bring on, especially with Gavi as well. It was done. We're going to get crushed by teams like Arsenal and Man City. We progress further in the UCL. I mean, it's important for Barcelona to get past Napoli just because of the financial significance and the money that we would win, the money that we would get from winning the game. But I think quarterfinals is as far as this team goes, especially with two key players out. It's just we can't do anything. The club is a joke. Almost Inter Milan starting there from next season. Yeah, I mean, like a ton of Barcelona players and Barcelona fans, they are going to be going on loan to other clubs. But looking individually at the players tonight, I just think that Barcelona, they weren't bad, they weren't poor. It was just like it was mediocre in general. There were some instances where Sean, you are right, Barcelona, they were poor. But I thought at the start was good. It was promising for Barcelona. They were intense. I thought, Cancelo, he was the best player on the pitch, making some very good runs, very dangerous attacking that left hand side. Especially when you had Iñaki Williams, on that right hand side, he showed some defensive solidity. Araujo, very good in his distribution of play. Defensively, he was solid once again. Gundogan, Koundé, two players once again who were good. And other than that, I mean, you can't really say anyone particularly played well. And Athletic Club coming off that huge game against Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey, it was a chance to get the 3 points. I would be going on loan to Manchester United. Oh wait, they're trash anyway, so I'll stick with Barca. No. Man United. If Barcelona are bad, if they're down bad, Manchester United, they're in the gutters. They're in the sewers on how bad they're playing. But guys, let's look at the reaction on social media and and let's see what people are saying. Barcelona's midfield options versus Napoli. It was confirmed that Frankie and Pedri will miss the game. Well, I mean, we know two players who are going to be starting in that position. It's going to be Gundogan and it's going to be Christensen. Who's going to be partnering him? I don't know. Is Xavi going to go with that four-man midfield, or is he going to go for the three? Looking at the setup, honestly, I'd probably have, Christensen as the DM, Gundogan as the midfielder, and Fermin Lopez. I know Fermin Lopez, he didn't have a particularly great game today, but thoughts on Fermin Lopez's performance? He didn't play well. He didn't play well. But I'm already seeing people on social media absolutely just like butchering the kid and criticizing him and saying like he doesn't have the level to play at Barcelona. And guys, this guy is 20 years of age. He is developing as a player, and it's important to have these squad rotation players. And not every single player that we're going to have in the team is going to be an absolute world beater. Do you follow Inter Miami? I do. I follow Inter Miami because of Messi. As long as Messi is there in Inter Miami, I will be a fan of the team. I hate this fucking team. Probably the realest tweet that's ever been. I don't know if Pedri's situation is reversible at this point. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because Pedri is 21, but since 2021, you know he's had like 9 different injuries, missed 71 games. That's a lot. That's a lot, and you don't know if he's gonna be able to recover. Difference in IQ between Lamine and Rafinha is staggering. You'll never guess who the child is. Rafinha versus Athletic, 76 minutes played, 0 shots, 0 dribbles, 0 chances created, 0 long balls, 0 out of 2 successful crosses, 2 out of 5 deals won. Rafinha did not have a good game. I honestly think that if Frankie and Pedri didn't get injured, we would have seen Rafinha be solved off much, much sooner. But it is what it is. But guys, as you know, as I said, time and time again, if you guys want to join the stream, if you guys want to give your thoughts, always feel free. Just click on the streamer link that I've posted on X. Just go over there and click on it. But let's look at some clips from Chevy's right now. Let's see what's the deal. The injuries to Pedri and Frankie do not look good. We feel sad. And here's the bad news. If from the get go you're saying that the injuries do not look good, then guys, we're not seeing them for like until the end of the season. That's it. We're gonna be playing with Order Mail and Sergio Roberto in that midfield. What's up, Ricardo? I'm not gonna lie, Pedri needs to go and get medical advice from elsewhere. These club doctors areas are ass. Bro, their cheeks, Ricardo, their cheeks. It's absolutely shambolic. And to think that Dembele at PSG, a player who we've criticized for getting injured time and time again, is absolutely. Yo, what's up, Ricardo?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Bro, uh, bro, how are you feeling after that game, man? Or-
Uh, I mean, we didn't lose, which is honestly doesn't make a difference because it still feels like we lost with the injuries. Um, Honestly, after Pedri went off, it kind of just sucked all the air out of me. I'm like, it doesn't even matter at this point. The one this is kind of felt like this was the moment we could actually contend for the title or like at least make a push beyond Real Madrid's heels. When you have those two injuries, it's just like, what's the point of this? Like, just end the season.
yeah,
Like, it's just
yeah.
it ended before it really even started. That's the shit part.
No,
Yeah, I don't know,
what's
man.
worse is that like I actually like saw Barcelona. They had like a decent start, for example. Like
Yeah,
like I wouldn't say they were like particularly great, but they weren't bad. We were getting into some very good areas. Just think like we weren't getting like doing that final touch, and then just like after like as soon as like Frankie De Jong, you saw him like fall into the pitch and get that sprained ankle. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's it. And then on top of that,
yeah,
as soon as he puts his foot on, he can't even put pressure on that. You're like, nah, it's game, it's done.
yeah. I think, well, De Jong's accident seemed more like, just it, in my opinion, I don't think it's as bad. I mean, well, Xavi literally just said it's bad. I don't know, to be honest. Pedri's is the one that obviously is worrisome just because it was self inflicted. At least it looked self inflicted. I don't think he was actually like hit by a tackle or anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the worst possible timing. Worst possible timing. I don't know. As in terms of the game in general, though, I just don't get Xavi. I just don't get why he is so loyal to Lewandowski. I mean, like, I get Lewandowski, he's just coming off Player of the Month and blah blah blah. But in the second half, especially, I don't know. We were a completely different team in the second half. Bilbao probably deserved to win, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yep, they did.
But being on your half majority of the time, you have to bring on Vitor Hook in that situation. He can get in behind. Lamine Yamal was being solid. He's always been solid, to be fair. João Felix, bro, get this guy at the club. Rafinha, he's way too hot or cold.
Yeah.
More cold than anything. I'll be honest. I'm looking to get Rafinha out of there. I've already been on the side of actually selling De Jong as well. But
Okay. What? Oh, whoa. So
yeah,
you're falling onto the camp as well.
yeah, I just don't see his profile being a necessity at the club, and especially with the financial things we're going through right now, like, he probably has the highest value. Also, if we're trying to be a possession-based team, I don't see the point of having a ball carrier in the team when this team clearly leads more vertical passes, which is something that Frankie doesn't do.
Okay,
Frank,
it makes sense.
yeah, Frankie, a lot of the times, a lot of plays, encounters or transitions or whatnot, there's a lot of time he carries the ball way too much rather than making a vertical pass that would progress the attack. I just don't see the value in having him. He's not as valuable as someone like Gavi, or not as valuable as someone like Pedri. But Pedri barely even plays. That's the thing. I think the only thing that De Jong has to stand on, especially right now, is the fact that he rarely gets injured. So just having him there is actually a value in itself. And sometimes your availability is the best like asset. So honestly, if if United come calling, you have to, in my opinion, you have to let him go. But it depends what Barcelona have lined up, because if you're telling me, okay, you sell Frankie, for example, you bring in someone like Joshua Kimmich, I'd rather keep De Jong. Not because I don't think Kimmich is a bad player. I just don't think Kimmich is a player that exponentially improves Barcelona. So
No, no, but Kimmich isn't even like a DM because
exactly.
Bayern Munich, they were actually looking into the market to actually sign a proper DM. This
Yep.
is why they were looking to sign Paulinho from Fulham. A deal that fell off like what, like in like the last day because like a paperwork or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't know who Barcelona can really get in the market. That's gonna be something else. But yeah, this season's done for, man. They need a lot of reinforcements, and we just gotta hope that Gavi come what somewhat normal. He isn't the new injury prone guy, which I don't think so personally. And then Pedri, man, I don't know what to do.
Laporta making a mukbang challenge on YouTube.
Yeah, at this point, you gotta do everything possible, man.
Bro, they do everything to make live streams for example, like live stream like the Barcelona training route. Uh,
Yeah, you should start a podcast. You should start a podcast and then
yeah, exactly. They
do
do
some
that. Do that.
donations. $100 minimum donations just to get your question out there.
Oh my god. But like today's game, it was an opportunity. For example, it was like an opportunity to make a statement and say like, "Hey, is Barcelona actually serious on winning the La Liga title? Are they gonna actually make a comeback?" Today was the opportunity. If Barcelona won today, that would have dropped that 9 point or difference at what Real Madrid had before Barcelona played to 6. We would have surpassed Girona. I believe right now we're tied on points, but Girona, because they've beaten us in the camp, not in Stadio Montjuic, we're behind them.
Pretty sure. I thought we were second.
Second we are.
Oh no, no, we're not. No, we're down a point.
Now,
Tough.
oh, let me see. Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are down a point. Yeah, on third. Oh,
Well, shit. I mean, what? Bro, honestly, I don't know what to say. I would even go as far as you have to sell Christensen too.
no, I mean, but Barcelona, they are gonna have to sell like players. I've been talking about this like on the channel. Barcelona, they are gonna have to sell players in the summer. It's that simple. But the
Yeah.
thing is, some of these players don't want to leave. Like Christensen, he's just came out in the media, saying like he wants to stay. Frankie De Jong, he wants to stay. Rafinha wants to stay.
Yeah, it's gotta get
Koundé
ugly.
wants to stay. It's gonna get ugly in the summer. Like we are gonna have to have some nasty breakups. And when you're looking at the player profiles, I I hate to say it, but I agree with you, Ricardo. I'm in that camp where basically saying like, other than like 3 or 4 players, and I'm looking at Gavi, I'm looking at Araujo, I'm looking at Pedri, and no Lamine Yamal. No one is untouchable. If
Yeah.
anyone wants to have put like buy these players, put in an offer, and Barcelona will listen to that. Christensen, I'm sorry, if someone puts like a 60 million, 50 million offer for you, I'm taking that, especially knowing that you came in for free.
Yeah, he's the easiest flip, so he's probably the most sellable or most
Sure.
like if you're gonna sell anybody, he's like the first guy that's gotta go. Which
Yeah,
is unfortunate because to be fair, I think Christensen has been fantastic ever
yeah.
since he came to Barcelona, but business is
Oh,
business and right now that has to be the case.
absolutely, absolutely. But for example, now that you have Pedri and Frankie De Jong injured, how are you feeling against Napoli? Because we're going to be playing against Mallorca, and then we're going to be playing against Napoli. And look at this, Napoli, they just beat Juve, and they're picking.
Yeah. It's not even just Juve, bro. Like Mallorca has actually been playing well as well. They've
Yeah.
probably hit the form of the season, hence why they're in the Copa del Rey final. So that's gonna be a challenging game. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't win, just because how the results have been at home. I think we're playing at home, right? Um,
Yeah, we are. We are.
that place, the Montjuic, whatever it's called, is
You
not.
know,
It doesn't even feel like a home stadium.
no,
Like
that's
we've
yeah.
had so much like crazy results in that stadium that it's honestly not a home type of environment. But then obviously Napoli picking up form right when they need to play, and we get
Of course.
Pedri and Frankie injured. And to be fair, like this, it sucks more so too because Barcelona in the last few weeks have actually been playing somewhat better. I mean, Lewandowski won Player of the Month, I
Yeah,
believe. But today he was a ghost. I thought there was some players that were great today. Like I thought Koundé was magnificent today.
he was.
So I think we're gonna need another one of those performances, especially against someone like Kvaratskhelia. So, do I think he has the capabilities of doing it? Of course, I do think so. He's a French international, so Koundé can definitely do it. Osimhen, that one kind of pissed me off just because Araujo had that guy in his pocket the entire game, and the one moment he switches off to Inigo Martinez, we concede. So
Yeah.
I'm confident, but I am also would not be surprised, especially given the circumstances. The midfield is just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For example, like because like this is a question like I wanted to pose to you, like leading to like to your sensations, like talking about this game. Would you start in that midfield? Because, for example, your controller being in Pedri is out.
you
Frankie
know,
De Jong, for example, like your base in that midfield, your anchor is out. Who do you play?
in my opinion, well, when you're starting Gundogan, right? Gundogan's probably going to have to play a deeper role.
Yeah, it's
Most
gonna be
like,
Christian Gundogan in the base.
yeah. Um, do you go with Fermin? He's high energy, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
go for that.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but we were actually seeing it earlier in the season, and when we saw it, it was actually looking good. The player got injured when Rafinha was actually playing that inverted, like that interior role. I can't remember what game it was, but he was playing really well, but he got injured, and then he was actually not too bad. And Rafinha is someone you can use there. Obviously, you can play Lamine Yamal as well outright as the actual winger, which is clearly way better than Rafinha. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that might be too much of a gamble. So you probably have to go with Gundogan, Christensen, and Fermin. Like, there's if I see Romeo, if I see Sergio Roberto, bro, I don't know. Like,
And you know what's funny? It's the commentators were saying like, "Hey, this is the game in which you bring on Sergio Roberto." I was like, "In what world are you gonna bring in Sergio Roberto to this type of game?"
yeah,
And you know what? What's funny is that we can actually see him start next against Napoli. We can actually see him
yeah.
start.
I wouldn't put it past them because the favoritism it clearly still exists at this club with someone like Xavi. Um,
Wow,
yeah. Oh, I would honestly I
wow.
can bet sell Pedri to PSG. He'll yeah, you know that probably would be the case because Dembele has yet to be injured.
Yeah, I,
Like, what kind of bullshit is this, man?
he's so cursed, so cursed.
Yeah, this is crazy, man.
Um, but for example, like look at that Pedri situation, like. Well, like, what do you make of that? Like, would you actually like contemplate selling him? Like, what happens in the summer? PSG or Man City, they come in with like 100 million offer for Pedri.
I'll be honest, yeah, I wouldn't sell him. I would
You
not
wouldn't
sell
sell him.
him. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not sell him. I just don't feel like. I mean, I get why you would sell him, but at the same time, let's be realistic. You give his look at his injury
No,
record. What team is actually gonna play 100 million plus for that?
no,
Regardless, like what team
no,
does pay that?
no, but I mean, still, like, like, PSG paid 50 million for the Dembele. And you're gonna pay 50 million more for a significantly younger player, but significantly, higher market value.
But to be fair, that last season where Dembele under Xavi, Dembele wasn't injured as much.
You're right, though. He was fit like for the majority of the season.
Yeah, exactly. So there's maybe some saving grace in that they saw his injury record actually improve from before Xavi to Xavi, but under Xavi with Pedri has been an absolute nightmare.
Okay.
So I don't. I mean, if I'm Barcelona, I'm not selling him whatsoever. But I mean,
Okay.
shit.
I mean, that's solid. Like, for example, like, I have in my list four untouchables, and these players I saw under no circumstance. It's Gavi, Pedri, Araujo, and Minimal.
Yeah,
Um,
I would
do you
agree.
have like players in the squad who you view as like untouchable, like no matter what offers come to not sell?
What about Alejandro Valde?
See, the thing is like Balde. I think he's talented, but I think in that position, left back, I think if you have Cancelo, if you have Hector Fort, I think you can afford selling, Balde. I think, for example, because with Jorge Mendes being his agent, I think you could get a lot of money for him, a lot of money, and you know, it's touch and go. It's touch and go. I wouldn't want to lose. Like I would have like Balde on like edging close to like that on like untouchable, saying like I don't really want to sell him. But for example, just looking at the performances from Balde this season, I'm just like, if 100 million offer comes on the table, 80, 70, I'm
Yeah,
tempted.
I get that. It's just for me, he's only had 2 seasons now. His first season, he was magnificent.
Yeah,
His second season has been the complete opposite. I wouldn't sell him I would consider him untouchable, but he's probably, if we were to put him in that group of four, now making it five, he's probably the one that you could probably kick out. But I would give him another season. I think, look, he's a young player. He can afford to have a bad season. I mean, over the course of a season, sure. It doesn't help that he's been injured too, but
Yeah, definitely.
other than them, it just depends on what type of money comes in too, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I really know. I mean, the young guys are good. Kubarsi is actually good. Hector Ford is really good. So
Yeah, I'm liking them. But okay, just like last question, and then we'll go on. We'll just talk about the final topics, final thoughts before we round up
for
the video.
sure.
But what did you make of Paulo Barsi starting tonight? Because this is actually that's been like talking about the media. Is Paulo Barsi becoming that starting center back? Has Inigo basically been replaced in the lineup? And
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Paco Garcia. I'm just saying this. I think for a 17-year-old, the composure that this kid has, the way he builds out from the back is absolutely fantastic. And I like I wouldn't put it past Xavi to start him against Napoli.
yeah, I wouldn't either. I think the kid is very. It's tricky because we always see this. We always see a young prospect from the
Yeah,
academy.
yeah,
They just shine, and then who
yeah,
the hell knows what is in store for him next season?
yeah,
That's literally could be the case with another Alejandro Valdez
yeah,
situation.
exactly.
So we don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like he's showing good promise, especially for his age in a defensive position, which typically you don't very see. Like
Yeah,
when you talk about quality young defenders, it's typically in the age of like 21 to like 24. But when
yeah,
you're as young as 17, you're showing this kind of level. Like remember the last guy who did it was Matthias de Ligt.
yeah.
Like there was insane level of talent.
No,
Now,
no, but even then, he was, at Ajax, for example, and he showed this well. He was like 19, showing like this level in the Champions League,
yeah,
around there. So
yeah,
like, Hogwarts is significantly younger, 2 years younger, and already a starter for Barcelona.
yeah.
That's
No,
insane.
it is insane. Like I said, I can see him starting against Napoli, but I
You,
think with the player like I would personally, yes.
oh,
Especially if you're gonna have Kunde out, right? Because you need to have Kunde, especially the form he's playing. He's playing really well. I don't know. Like, we're gonna. I need to see more of the kid. I think a lot of the times, like, I think Barcelona definitely molds their prospects on the way that they want them to play in the senior level.
yeah,
So is it a situation where he's benefiting massively because of the system in place? I think so. I think that's typical of La Masia players because when they leave Barcelona, they aren't nowhere near the same quality. So, but there needs to be more. I mean, this is only really like a month or two of actual game time at the senior level. I don't want
yeah.
to get ahead of myself and say this kid is like the next best young thing since someone like Mathis de Ligt. So,
Well, I mean,
um,
what's funny is speaking on that statement. There's been reports, from both Xavi and La Masia, is like they've actually said that they've actually said like, hey, this is the biggest talent since we've had like ever in this position. Like,
yeah,
he's already receiving insane amount of praise, and just I'm just like thinking like, hey, guys, I know he's been like, for example, I like that people are having confidence in him, but at the same time, we have to keep him like grounded. We
yeah,
can't place massive expectations, just like what we're doing with Lamine Yamal, and saying, "Hey, this guy is going to be like our next superstar." You know,
yeah,
already Lamine Yamal being 16. How did you see like his sponsorship with Adidas?
yeah,
The way like the posters and everything were been like the next star or something.
yeah. It's a huge opportunity for him.
Yeah, it's huge. But it's that double-edged sword that what's it called can be beneficial, but can also hurt. But Ricardo, final thoughts on the match tonight. Just final thoughts on Barcelona's play before we round up the video.
Like started off well, started off very well. Unfortunately, it didn't materialize to anything. The injuries really just ruined the whole game, in my opinion. Second half, I wouldn't say we were atrocious, but we definitely weren't effective. I mean, we were very fortunate that Bilbao didn't have Nico Williams. If we're being honest, I think with someone like Nico Williams, we could have definitely been punished. But yeah, man, like it's just a missed opportunity is all I can really say, and it makes it worse knowing that Pedri and
Yeah,
Frankie De Jong. I think Frankie De Jong should be back. I honestly don't think his injury is gonna be that bad. The Pedri one, in my opinion, even if he could return in the last month of the season, just close the season out.
Yeah.
And I hope, um, like he doesn't go with Spain to
Oof.
the Euros.
I pray he doesn't go to to the Euros.
Yeah,
But most likely looking at how, for example, Fonte does, like Luis La Fuente does, with Spain, he's most likely going to go into Brighton.
yeah,
So
no, for
I
sure.
pray that he doesn't.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, because of that guy, we freaking lost Gavi for
yeah,
nothing.
unbelievable, and like in a stupid friendly. On top.
Yeah,
But guys, that was it for the match reaction. As Ricardo said, today was a huge missed opportunity. Girona dropped points. Real Madrid dropped points. Barcelona, they could have, crawled our way back into that title race conversation. But generally, I just think this team, they just didn't show the level of the bar. And on top of that, Barcelona cursed as a club. Two huge players going down injured in Young and Pedri. Tomorrow, I am going to be talking, about their injuries, how long they're going to be out for, and I'm giving an update on that. But guys, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ricardo, thank you for stopping by. Always appreciate for another Barcelona fan to tune in.
no
And
problem,
guys,
brother.
let me know your guys' thoughts on Barcelona's performance tonight. How did you guys feel? How do you guys think that Barcelona performed? Do you guys think that this team can, bounce back and clinch that top two spot, which is going to be important for the Supercopa de España, money that we desperately need, and how will we fare against that? Guys, as